says, sure, why not? You're having a giggle.
Well, that's one way to do it, isn't it?
Feeding up to the flag in for Eagle.
Quality plus. Come on. Oh!
Hey guys, DT here from Top Deck Golf. Welcome to the Out the Bunker podcast, season 2. We have been on a very, very long break. Unfortunately, Jace is not here with us tonight. He is out and about doing some comedy shows. As everyone already knows, he's a comedian by trade, so to speak, and he's out performing, making some good money. So before we get into tonight's episode, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, as tonight's special guest is a homegrown talent, and our show is all about trying to promote local talent, pushing it out there, and just showing everyone that we can some of the amazing things that our local West Australian talent is doing. And right now, this young man, Julian Pesava, is a Coburn Basketball D-League boy, all right? Yep. He went to college at Wayland Baptist University. He's become an SBL champion, a 3-on-3 champion, which we got to get into, a European professional, and an current 2024 NBL1 champion. Welcome to the show, brother.
Yeah, it feels good.
You, man.
Thanks for having me on.
How's life going, man? Must be amazing, or?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been a hectic month. Yeah, I don't think at the start of the season, I don't think we predicted it, but yeah, we got it done in the end.
Man, it was an amazing thing to absolutely watch. Like, I had the luxury of sitting at home watching it, and dude, like, to see you guys do what you did, and we'll get into it in a bit, but I just want to, I guess, take you back to where your journey first all started with basketball. Yep. Tell us a little bit about that. So, like, where did it all start? The passion, the love for the game, and then, like, wanting to be to where you are now.
Yeah, I think I was around 9. Before then, I was doing gymnastics and getting a little bit of trouble with, like, one of my friends from primary school. So my mum actually pulled me out and put me into team sports, into basketball at Coburn.
Hold on. What trouble were you getting into at gymnastics at 9 years old?
Not at gymnastics, but
like
with a
nah.
It was like a nah. One of my friends from primary school, we were like we would get in trouble at school together, and then when I started doing gymnastics, he joined as well, and then I think to separate me, my mum took me and put me more into team sports.
I love it.
So I'd get a little bit more into that, and then I think I started doing it because parents put me into it, but after a while that kind of that competitive feel and that love for basketball came probably a bit later. Like, I would say I was 14 or 15.
Yeah, and always Coburn?
I was always Coburn, but we had a year we went touring to Darwin, and kind of like how it goes, the team collapsed and there was no team at Coburn. I moved to Lakeside and did the rest of my juniors there. Yeah, and then came back for SBL at Coburn. That's where I played with you in the team. Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's what we're going to go to.
Yeah, exactly, right?
So, look, the way Jules and I guess, have known each other is through Coburn basketball and winning the SBL championship together before it turned into the NBL1 in 2016. And, dude, to see you grow, and it's not something that I do consciously, it's just, I guess, through social media and just through life in general, and still being attached to basketball, seeing you grow from where you were to now into this, like, now a leader of the league, someone who is out there and actually taking control of a team, to when I knew you 8 years ago, to this young little 18, 19-year-old that was gullible, didn't get sarcasm, didn't know how to check your emotions. Like, you were emotionless. Yeah. On the court. Like, you were just like this dude who wouldn't get out there and scream and yell because you were like gun shy of everything. Yeah. And there's one story to, I guess, express it was, and this is what I was talking to you about, right?
I'm ready for it.
So we're all on the baseline. Right? This is the best thing I've ever heard. So we're all on the baseline, and we're in preseason, right? And Rhett Della, who was our SBL Finals MVP, right?
Yeah, of course.
He goes to me, he goes, "Oh, DT, let's mess with Jules for a little bit." And I was like, "What do you want to do, man?" So anyway, he tells me what we're doing. So I walk over to you and I'm like, "Hey, Jules, I wouldn't go near that dude over there, man. Like, you know, Rhett."
Oh yeah.
I was like, don't go near Rhett, man. Like, he's been in trouble. Like, he's not allowed around schools.
Yeah, I do remember this.
You remember this?
Yeah,
I was like, dude, he's not allowed around schools. Like, he's been in trouble. Like, yeah, it's pretty dangerous, right? Like, just stay clear of him. You're a young kid. Just stick with us. And it was me and Princey, right? We're just sitting there messing with you.
Yeah.
And you, as young as you were, you go, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, man. Like, it's legit. Like, do not just chill, be a teammate and stuff like that. Talk to him, but don't go out with him and all that type of stuff."
Yeah.
And, dude, for like the next 2 weeks, you would veer and steer clear of Rhett. And then eventually we told you what was going on. And man, like, we were just having this internal laughter. Because at that point, you weren't able to mess with rookies anymore. You guys were
I think you guys still did.
We still
from
did, but we
memory.
weren't allowed
From memory,
to,
I think I'm a lot nicer than rookies are nowadays.
Man, but you're like, that was kind of like the last remnants of, I guess, like hazing and stuff like that. I can still remember on our road trip up to Jero, man, where
it
all got shut down.
Gauntlets
there were some gauntlets and stuff.
Some random things they would make up. Yeah,
and that all just got shut down.
Yeah.
But look, man, that was and now to see you into this confident, young, strong, like in the NBL1 championship, hitting a three, turning around, screaming in one of your mates' faces, like just loving it. It's awesome for me as a fan now, right? My career is done. It's awesome to now watch and just see like someone that I knew as this young, innocent little kid now growing up into this adult that's now killing it in the SBL. I mean, I was looking at your numbers. Like, you're putting up pretty much, I'll round everything up, 17, 2 assists, 5 rebounds, right? And you're playing like 17 points a game, playing with a guy that's averaging 22, 23 shots a game. To still putting up 17 in 40 minutes with a league-leading scorer and the MVP, like, it's fantastic numbers, man. So you should be proud of that.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
So, look, tell me a bit about this championship. It's the first ever in Mandurah, right? Magic organisation. Tell me a bit about it. How did they convince you to get down to Mandurah?
Yeah, I mean, like, firstly, it's obvious that it means a lot to the community and everyone around Mandurah. I think, like, after the grand final, I'd noticed there's a few people that are crying that are around the club a lot that I noticed that this means a lot to them. So it's a nice feeling to go from where they had a few problems and bounce back really well from that.
Yeah.
What mainly convinced me, I think, is just, Mark Utley. Like, I like his kind of flow offense, that there's no... You can play confidently through it because you know that Mark's not going to put restrictions on you as a player.
That's good.
And I think I really needed that coming into this season where, like, I'd had a few seasons where it's like there's a few restrictions and I needed that free-flowing play, which convinced me to come down. And I wasn't sure if we would get it done, but I think when Joel Murray got there, the optimism was a little higher.
Went up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you guys were bottom of the ladder the year before, right? Like, you weren't there, right? But you went bottom of the ladder.
Yeah.
And now in one season, boom.
Yeah,
NBL1
from bottom to top.
championship.
Yeah. We were joking about that a lot. I think we wanted the song coming into the grand final to be started from the bottom.
That would have been sick.
I'm not sure who chose the song.
Well, can you play Drake anymore after Kendrick kind of...
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah.
Man, it's just like, it's really cool. I mean, obviously, I've played down in Mandurah for the 1 year as well with Rhett.
Yeah, I remember.
And it is a very family-oriented club.
Yeah.
And they hold all their emotions close to their heart, man. So to see them as happy as they were, it's really cool to see a club like that who has been in the dumps for a long, long time to now just, come out and do this, man. It was unreal. So
very special.
Outside of that championship, what's a highlight throughout the year? It can be personal, it can be team-wise. Like, I've looked at some of your games. You had some big games.
Yeah, there was a lot. I think just like it's not the championship, but playing, like, getting to share that with Marshall, like, at RAC. I think I was watching the Jarrah versus Willow game, just hoping that Willerton won, and that we would get it done in Joondalup as well. Just sharing, like, that experience at RAC with, he's my good mate, and like, I think it's something we could look back on in a long time. I think that was one of the best things this year for me personally, win or loss. Like, I enjoyed that it was against him and
against Marshall Nelson,
and then there was a lot of others. There's, like, I went to Korea for 3-on-3, and normally, like, going on holidays, I'm so stressed on how I'm taking care of my body. Am I getting enough rest for basketball? And then I think as I'm getting older, I can relax a little bit and just enjoy some time with friends on a holiday. That was a big highlight for me this year as well.
Nah, that's awesome, man. And like, I guess going back to that Marshall Nelson thing, I remember watching the game, and obviously I know that you guys are good mates and you've worked together and done stuff like that, and you've done clinics and whatnot. When he hit that, and we discussed it a bit, when he hit that three, or the shot, right, and was up and about, talking trash to you and stuff like that. Like I said, that's it. Mandurah's going to win this game. I was like, you can't do that, man. Like, the game's not over yet. So much time left. I was like, and you got the best scorer. I was like, oh, I don't know about this, man. And then you guys came down and Murray hit that shot. But there was one that preceded all of it. And I think that's where Marshall kind of got kicked up, was when you hit that shot and you turned around. Tell me what happened there, that exchange.
Yeah, I think...
Without swearing.
Yeah, without swearing. Oh, okay, yep. I got the rebound.
You can bleep it out.
Yeah, I got the rebound, and I was dribbling full court and just noticed that it's Marshall in front of me and that he had 3 fouls. It's early in the fourth. So I was planning to be aggressive, and then he backed off a little bit, which, decision to go into the shot. Yeah, as soon as that went in, I was definitely going to let him know. Won't say what I said, but...
You can say it, but like I said, say it and we'll just bleep it out, because I want to hear it.
Yeah, I just said, that's in your face. Then running back, that's it's a nice feeling.
Was
to be
he quiet or did he reply?
I'm not so sure. I'm not sure. I'm so in my emotions that I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But then he hit the shot, and I made sure I was running far to that corner, get out of the highlight as quick as I could. He chased me down. Had his own few things to say.
So you've just one thing that I'm really envious of what the NBL1 West have done. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still the SBL repackaged in a very nice, glamorous looking way, right, with the NBL1, right? But the things that they've now added in is just fantastic, right? Online, you get to watch it. You can watch it now on TV with KO Sports. But the one thing I was envious of, and I always wanted to test it, right? Because back when we were growing up, everyone was like, oh, SBL can't compete with Over East. Yeah. Right? SBL is nothing compared to Over East, right? The C-ball and all this type of stuff. And I always used to sit there and go, dude, I've played against them in high schools and stuff like that. They're no different.
It's quite similar. Yeah.
Right? It's quite similar. Yeah, they probably got more top-range teams. Yeah. Right?
Or just more teams.
Or just more teams, right? But the top-range teams here and the top-range teams there are very competitive. Yeah. And I wish when we won in 2016 that we could have taken everyone over and gone over there and go for a Nationals. We didn't have that. Tell me a bit about the Nationals. Like, what was that vibe like? Was it more of a, okay, we've won, but we're going to go over and just, enjoy ourselves? Or was it more like, nah, we want to win this as well?
No, it's definitely the intention to win. It was quite a long road trip. So, and then after winning at RAC, it's kind of the emotions are so high, you're going to have naturally that drop. But it definitely, the intentions was to go there and win it. A lot of talented teams around Australia. I think we end up losing to Mackay.
So your last game though, you smoked it.
Yeah, did really well at that game. I think if you could get the NBL players from over east to also participate and play in it, they generally leave for preseason. So the issue is that it's that a lot of teams are missing players. That it'd be if they have their full strength squad, there's no excuse. It's whatever team's better on the day, I guess.
So do you think that needs to be a restructure and when they start the season to try allow? Because I know when Marshall went over with Rockingham, right, they were missing Devondrick. Yeah, but then all the other teams were missing their imports as well. And I was like, dude, Devondrick's an NBL. He's an unreal ball player. How can you play a national tournament and not have him there?
Yeah.
And Marshall went off. Yeah. Right? But it's the same
Godfrey
thing.
Godfrey had a really good game as well.
Yeah, Buff had a great game.
Yeah, I think because I know when they won, when I was in Mount Gambier, everyone would say that it's other teams didn't have their full strength team. But I think that year, Rockingham, they didn't have Devondrick or maybe Greg Hire as well. They were missing a few.
Yeah, I don't think Greggy was there either.
Players. So they won it and they didn't have their full strength team. But I think it's quite similar. If there is a difference, it's not significant. Yeah. In my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough, man. So look, what was a better highlight? The first one, when you're a young kid?
Yeah.
And be honest, because you're not going to hurt anyone's feelings here.
Yeah.
All right?
Only yours.
Our 2000, you're not going to hurt mine. 2016, we didn't have feelings in that team, right?
Yeah, right.
Our chemistry was all over the shop.
Yeah,
we've had fights, we had all sorts of stuff, right?
Yeah.
We were super competitive. Every practice was a scrap, right?
Yeah, there were a lot of fights that year, I remember.
There were lots of fights, right? So I don't care, man, but which one means more to you, and tell me why?
It's hard to, I think I'll say this Mandurah one, maybe because maybe I was a bigger part of it. The first one I won, and I thought this is what it's going to be like. You know, I'm around all these veterans, we're going to win every year. Or maybe I took it for granted that it's a really hard thing even to make the playoffs. And then when we won that, I think I was 20, and I thought I'm going to win a couple, and so fast track. I'm 29 when I win the next one. So like the second time, I'm appreciating it more, knowing that it might never come again. It might happen. You never know. It's so hard to. You had like Geraldton this year were amazing.
Yeah.
And then it's like you just have to do it in the playoffs as well. That like you could have a great squad, great year, and you still don't get the championship at the end.
Yeah.
So I definitely appreciate it in a different way this time. I think the first time is always like more. It's a different feeling.
Yeah.
And it's that RAC this time. Yeah, they're both two separate experiences.
It was so good.
Sure.
It was such a cool vibe, man, to see that. And I guess for me, seeing that where basketball's come is really cool as well. You know what I mean? Because basketball back in the 90s, when, let's say, Paulie and I were growing up, basketball in the 90s was massive. It was still bigger then than what it is now. Yeah. And we look at now and go, man, like basketball's grown like crazy. But 90s basketball in Australia was just, it was insane.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it was the hottest ticket. They were competing on TV with the Eagles. Right?
Yeah.
Now they've had, like, they switched seasons, so now they don't have to compete with them.
Yeah.
Because during that early 2000s, it kind of died off over here. Right?
Okay.
So
they were competing, or?
Well, I don't know, basketball just kind of fell off a little bit.
Fell off for a bit.
Yeah, like even with Kobe and Shaq and stuff like that, but basketball just kind of fell off a little bit, especially in Australia. And now it's just like this. It's going
booming. Yeah,
huge.
Yeah. Maybe with TikTok you can like make those, or Instagram Reels, you can make those little clips of like highlights. That it's very easy to see like the amazing things people do in the NBA. Like you can clip a little thing and it's maybe inspiring kids to play basketball more. But it's definitely booming. I know when I was young, there was one wobble team you could make. I'm sure it's the same for you. And now there's 5 divisions in the same it's age group. So yeah, it's definitely booming.
Yeah. All right, well, look, we're going to take a little quick break, and we'll be back after these messages. Stay tuned. Hey, guys, if you're looking for a positive and supportive environment where players can develop their skills, work hard, and achieve their goals, be sure to contact Coach Jules at coachjules.com.au. His academy aims to prepare players for success at the next level, regardless of high school, college, or professional. So check it out now. Get your kids involved. The link will be in our description, or head over to www.coachjules.com.au. Hey guys, welcome back to the Out the Bunker podcast. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. But we're here with Julian Pesava, 2024 NBL1 champion. We're going to get into, I guess, a bit of a discussion about your 3-on-3 world tour that you went on. So you spoke earlier, you went to Korea. Obviously not North Korea. You didn't go see Kim Jong-un.
No, definitely. We stayed south.
Man, you got Dennis Rodman went there. I thought, hey, let's send the ginger up there. Let's go.
Yeah.
But, okay, no luck. So, look, what did you have to do to, I guess, get to that stage? What was the process?
I think actually Marshall had the hookup. He knew the guy organising the team.
Yeah. So you cheated.
Marshall actually, it pays to know Marshall. As he said, those are his words.
Yeah, there you go.
He got Keegan and I the gig there, and normally you have to win. There's sort of, I think it goes quests, challenges, and then world tours.
Okay.
And then this was like in the second level on a world tour. I think that there was another team that won the quest. They just couldn't. All the players couldn't make it to the the South Korea Challenger that they needed a few replacements. I think they needed 3 out of the 4. So that's where Marshall and Keegan got to go.
Man?
Yeah, there was some crazy experiences. I think one that comes to mind is like I was telling everyone when I came back all the stories. Like Marshall and I were playing each other in Willerton the very next day we were coming back. So when the competition ended, we would go running in the morning just to stay fit.
Yep.
Like we weren't playing basketball for a few days on a holiday. And I think we went running, and we went through a crosswalk, and a van hit Marshall, and he was completely airborne.
You're
and
serious?
Yeah. There was a crosswalk, but there's like a wall that you couldn't see this car coming, and the car just went straight through the crosswalk. And I think I jumped backwards, so the van missed me. It
didn't help him. He just I'm out here.
Instincts was I was jumping backwards.
That's it, yeah, I like it.
Marshall was too far ahead. He jumped upwards, so he wasn't hurt, but he was airborne on top of this van.
Holy hell, man.
And in the moment, it wasn't a funny story, but afterwards, it was something we laughed on. We couldn't believe that just happened.
All right. Well, he's done well for himself to come back from a brutal car accident in South Korea.
Yeah. But it was an amazing trip. It's quite tough. Like a lot of the 3-on-3 teams there, they do 3-on-3 full time. It's like their job for a lot of those players.
That's so cool. I've obviously played street ball, all right, back in the day, and things were a certain way. So now 3-on-3 is being a competitive. Another thing that I'm now too old to ever experience, right?
Yeah,
that competitive
I don't think
level.
So. I think you could. It's a quarter court. There's a lot of
I guess,
older players playing in it.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
But look, what's the difference between, I guess, the 3-on-3 and the 5-on-5? When you watch the 3-on-3, you sit there and you go, like I watch the Olympics, right? Some bad shots being taken because the shot clock's only 12 seconds, right?
Yeah.
And there's some people that you just sit there and you go, oh my God, man, like I can get a better shot than that. But that 12-second shot clock is like, that's got to be pressing, right?
Yeah.
It's 12, right?
I think so. I'm not entirely sure with the shot clock. I think we shoot always before.
Yeah, of course you do. Whoever gets it shoots it.
Yeah, it's definitely like a more physical and more fast-paced game. Like. I think if you play, you want to play a little less of the 2-man game. No, a little less of ISO ball and a lot more of the 2-man game.
Yeah, so that on-ball screen, high on-ball screen.
Yeah, that it's if you can get into a lot of quick action. So like generally the better teams play quick. You don't slow it down as much. You want to make decisions fast on the fly. It's a lot more physical because there's no help D. It kind of needs to be that you can get away with a little more physicality.
And they allow that? The refs allow that?
It depends on the comp. Like with FIBA, it's still a little similar to basketball. But then the Red Bull comp, we have one that we're going to New York for.
Yeah, I know. That's wild, man.
Yeah, those ones there are really rough. It's more like street ball. That one will be like 16th of October, so middle of October.
That's
so
crazy.
Like a weekend. We'll be with
That's it, just a weekend to New York.
It's 4 days, but then we'll extend it.
Dude, I go to Bali, I get jet lag. Like, how the hell are you going to do that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think we get there a few days before because we did the last year. We did the one in Serbia because we won that year, and we get there a few days before, and then I think the hardest part is that we don't train together and actually have any structure, whereas the other teams are like. They're working out every day.
Yeah.
They have a full,
So you just got to rely on skill, right?
Yeah, they have plays, they run. We're just playing ISO one-on-one. We're relying on skills for sure. Yeah. But I think the more we've been playing, the more we understand that it's like you get to the 2-man game, better things come out of it.
Just on that jet lag, man. I mean, I can remember when I left from the US and instead of coming home, I went straight from there to Croatia. Yeah. And I was going down to KK Split, right, where I was playing that first season. And I literally got off the plane. They took me to my apartment, right? Grabbed my stuff, and I went down to preseason training. It was no like, oh, you're going to have a day off, right? Yeah. Straight down there, dude. I lasted 45 minutes before I was like at the bin, just throwing up, insanely, right? In this hot, it was summer, right? Yeah. And in Croatia, summers are like here, just hot. No aircon.
Yeah.
Right? Don't give me aircon in Croatia, right? Because it's too expensive, right? This is back then. And dude, I was just like chucking up. I'm like, oh my God, man, I'm going to get fired. Like, I'm not going to get this.
Yeah, I can imagine, because those programs are so tough as well. They're training you like 2-3 times, 4 times a day, that you're in full survival mode, especially in the preseason. Yeah, can't imagine. I was more fortunate. I think I had a few days off before I would always start. So.
Yeah. Man, I was just straight there because I was coming from the American season to there. So it was like they're in the heat of it. And it was like, you're not going to sit down. You're like, you better get up. And because I was going over as a European and a Croatian, so to speak, because my parents and family are from there. They didn't give two rats asses. You know what I mean? It was like, if it was American, they might have been different. They might have been like, oh, yeah, you go sit down. You go sit down and you relax. Like this. And it's like, no, you get in there.
You need to get after it if you're local. If you're local.
So look, man, speaking of Europe, you've had the luxury of playing over there.
Yeah.
How many seasons did you play over?
I did 1 season in Czech, but I actually got cut. And then 2 seasons in Germany following that.
Cool. So they're the
about
2.
2.5.
Yep. So out of those 2, obviously getting cut sucks, but which is probably the best place that you enjoyed, like just in terms of like the lifestyle and stuff like that you visited, like Germany or in the Czech?
That's really hard. I think the first year I was in Germany, just because it was like the first year I got an agent and I did everything, like I figured out how it's done.
It's weird, right?
I think maybe I came back and I would have spoken to you actually and asked like the questions of what I need to do, and that you get an agent and then people take you a little more seriously. And,
they do.
And then the first year in Germany was really, really fun. Like it was a nice team I was around. Like we got along so well and we did quite well, and it was my first like full experience of a year in Europe. So I think the first year I was near Hamburg in Rendsburg. That was probably my favorite. Yeah, that was my favorite.
You didn't go to Reeperbahn, did you?
No, I don't even know that.
Come on,
no idea.
Yeah,
no
whatever.
Idea.
You know what it is. Anyway, you know what it is. Don't give me that. Anyway, we'll discuss that later.
Yeah. All right.
But look, man, any plans for future in Europe again? Any?
I think like I've turned 29 now, so if it's a nice job, 29. So I think if
no, it's me, man.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I think if I got a good situation, that it would be worth going for, because as you know, it's quite tough. It's hard to do a full season away.
Man, it's 2 trainings a day too. People don't realize that. Like, they see professionals on TV and they go, oh yeah, you know, like, quit complaining, man. You guys get paid millions, but like the work that they put in, like, okay, granted, you're not out there slaving away on shovels and, you know, bricklaying and stuff like that in 40-degree heat, or roof carpenting as a, you know, light head ginger in a freaking
that would be stressful.
That's stressful, bro, right?
Yeah.
But
that's stress.
But man, it's tiring. Your body's taxed.
Yeah, it's stressful in different ways. Like you're always, it's that thought of, I'm always worried about how my body's feeling.
Yeah.
Am I getting enough rest? Am I like eating the right foods?
Yeah.
Whereas like it's not a holiday. You're going there and it's a job, and you're stressed that you're going to get sent home.
That's right. All it takes is a couple bad shooting games in a row.
I think even
bye.
Sometimes even you're playing well, and if your team isn't winning, they're going to replace you, because they're going to replace the imports before the local guys.
100%.
Yeah.
So what did you think the difference was between Europe and back here in terms of basketball wise? Like what was your difference? Like what did you notice?
Yeah, there's so many.
Because Luka Doncic has come out and said, you know, like, and loads since the Olympics have started to realize that, hey man, American basketball is not as far ahead as people think.
Yeah.
Like that team, I did a post a while ago. That team was worth $555 million for one season.
Oh, the
one
US
season,
team?
the US team,
oh, yeah,
$555 million. I calculated all this, right? Because you know what I'm like, right? I go crazy. Serbia were worth $88 million.
Oh, okay,
and 55 of that came from Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, they're just being underpaid. They're underpaid.
And they won by 1 point. You're trying to tell me that $555 million and $88 million somehow accounts to a 1 point?
Disparity doesn't make sense.
So they're there, man. So what do you think? What's the difference?
The physicality is completely different. Like just the way they can hip check. And it's easier to play defense because there's like that travel rule that you can't rip and go. You can't if you
ball's got to be bounced first.
If you go right and you go with your right foot first, it doesn't matter. It's the way it looks. The referee's going to pin you on a travel. I think when I first got there, I'd get 2 or 3 travels a game.
I can imagine too, because you love that pump fake one dribble.
Yeah, and it's stressful because you're like, I don't understand what I need to do to get rid of all these travel calls, and I'm going to get sent home. And then only later it's like, you would understand that it's like you can just split your feet and go with the inside leg, and you take that travel out completely. But you have to change your game. That there's a few things like that were different. The physicality was completely. Like that on your drive, the initial on the drive, that they can hip check and they can play way more physical than here in Australia.
Yeah.
Maybe like a little slower game, like you would want to get more structure than fast break.
Yeah, it's definitely more oriented around like team offense.
Yeah, get through the offense a lot, where probably here it's like you can play that fast game. If you have an advantage, you want to play on that early in the shot clock. You want to play off those advantages.
So here's one for you, because this caught me out when I went to America for high school, right? I was standing there. You know how here you can just hold the ball. And you can just stand there, and if a defender's near you, it doesn't matter. You can just hold the ball.
Yeah.
Did that catch you out when you went to America, the 5-second rule? So in America, I don't know what it's like now, but back when I was playing in high school and in college, if your player is within arm's reach of you, you have 5 seconds to break the plane. Right? Yeah. So you can't just stand there. You know how like 20 seconds on a shot clock, you just like dribble the ball out and someone's standing next to you and it's fine. You can't do that in college.
Oh, you need even dribbling.
We couldn't. Yeah, so you can't do it.
I didn't know
so
that, yeah.
For 5 seconds, there's basically 15 seconds in a whole possession, right? So when you catch the ball and the guy's there, that's 5 seconds. So at the 4 second, you got to start dribbling. Once you start dribbling, there's another 5 seconds, and if you don't
you need to
make a move, it's a 5 second call. So here's me. There's 35 seconds in a high school game back then, right? And I'm just standing there up the top, like waiting for offense to run, and the umpire like blows the whistle, and he goes like this, and I've gone, I've turned around, I've gone, what?
Yeah,
like, what happened?
What's he calling?
He was like 5 seconds, and I was like, what does that mean?
I
had no idea what the hell was going on.
Yeah,
and they had to explain it to me.
Okay, I don't even know that now. I think I wouldn't have got caught out on it because I play very fast. Like I think I would have never held it for 5 seconds.
I was just holding because I was waiting for my guys to set up.
As
a point guard, like you're waiting for dudes to set up, and I was just like, what the hell, man? And like coach had to like time out, explain it to me, and then I was like,
you're still confused.
And I was like, still, how does that make sense, bro?
No, I think that slow, that because I played more of 2-3, I think that slow kind of point guard facilitate everything. I'm only just learning now, so back then I was 21. There's no way
you were just
I would have caught it and try to blow by my man straight away. Man. I didn't get caught out on that ever.
So look, what we're going to start doing in this podcast is we're going to start doing like a video of the week, something that I pick out or Jace picks out or the guest picks out. First week, my show, Jason's show, I get to do it.
Yeah.
So look, I picked out a golf clip because at the end of the day, that's how Jason and I reconnected, world champions, all that type of stuff, right? But we're talking about marketing, sponsor, like trying to get you some more clients out there for your individual coaching, right? Yep. Because right now you're working hard, you're putting in the time, and kids deserve to be coached by people who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right. Like I said to you before outside, 10 years ago, at age 19, wouldn't have even thought about putting a kid in there, right? Because you haven't experienced basketball enough.
Or life.
Now you've now put that into practice, and you've now turned out to be a 2-time champion. You're going away to New York and all this type of stuff. So now I'd feel far more comfortable, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to play a clip here of Tiger Woods, and I'm going to set the scene. This is at the 2005 Masters. He's hole 16. He's down one shot, right? Going into those last 2 holes. This is the last round. And the ball, where it lands, it's a par 3, and the other guy's landed on the green. He's landed way off the green. Yep. But where the ball sits is right on the edge and the fringe of this little section, all right? So I'll show you where this is at, right? And then I'll go into like, this is one of the craziest marketing tools ever. All right, I'll play it now for you. So you can see the ball, the way it's sitting. He needs to somehow get that club underneath that ball.
Yeah.
All right, but because there's grass behind him, it makes it so difficult to get that ball underneath. So I just want you to, like, this is to save his round, so to speak.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
But this ends up tying it up. But just watch this. This is absolutely insane.
Yeah, he's a little bit further up, I think.
Like, crowd, pressure.
Yeah.
I want you to think
the
about
moment's
making
huge.
a free throw, right? Making a free throw for that championship.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's in front of
That's
triple,
equivalent.
quadruple.
Yeah.
Right? Well, it's not even equivalent. This is like for millions.
Yeah. It's not the same.
Okay, so that's the setup, right?
Yeah.
Now, this was the largest free marketing ever. All right?
Yeah.
Basically, what happened was Nike sold this. Every time they played this clip, they made $16,666 off it.
From the views
From this
and the
clip,
marketing,
right?
Yeah.
Because it was free marketing for them. They didn't even have to make a commercial.
Yeah.
Now watch what he does with this shot, right? The angle that he has to hit this is one of the hardest shots I've ever seen, and this goes down as one of the greatest shots in golf history. So watch where he puts the ball. Now you watch this. Instant marketing tool. Ready?
Yeah. I might have even watched.
You might have even seen
yeah.
this. Ready? Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this. How perfect.
Yeah,
How perfect is that, man?
There's people at Nike celebrating even harder than.
So you know what we need to do? We need to make
yeah.
a Coach Jules ball.
Yeah.
Shot to win it. You let it sit on the rim and you just let it drop in with Coach Jules.
Yeah, I'm all for it. If you're up to take the shot and make the big time play, we can get it.
But is that
done.
not just insane? Now what that did is that tied up the round. They then went through 2 more holes and basically they went to a playoff because it didn't finish there. And then Tiger Woods won it on that first playoff hole.
In the playoff, yeah.
Right?
So he needed this shot.
He needed that to save him. If not, he was parring because the other guy ended up going ahead. Like, just insanity, man.
Yeah.
But that goes down as one of the greatest shots and one of the greatest free marketing tools ever.
Yeah.
Right?
No, good for Nike for sure.
It's unreal. And now he's disbanded with them. So it's absolutely wild, man.
Yeah. I'm sure he practiced that all the time.
So the difficulty of that shot is the fact that he needs golf, and I spoke to you before about golf, how it is so minuscule, the difference between going in and not going in.
Yeah.
Right? He had to put that perfectly at the right speed. If that was a little bit faster, that ball would have gone on the other side of the hole.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Or
like,
if the angle, the
angle wasn't
slightly
right,
off. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense for sure.
Absolutely nuts.
Yeah. Whereas in basketball, you can follow through, and your follow through is not even towards the ring, and it still goes in.
You know. Look, tell us about Coach Jules. All right, what that is, what you're doing for athletes, and what can you offer some of these kids that are going to be out there trying to get to your level, and even further if they have that talent.
Yeah, definitely. It's like what I offer is like some direction on what you should be working on, how you should be working out. Like I think the intensity that you should be working out at. Like it was a massive thing. I thought I was working hard, and then I would travel to maybe like Europe or the US and see how other players. Even recently, like go to Mount Gambier and see how Nick Marshall was training there. And then I realized like that the intensity is something else. So it's like, just offering direction in how you should be working out in terms of intensity and what you should be spending your time on. And then like based on that I can build up the confidence with you that you feel comfortable and confident in those situations when you hit the court. That you're comfortable in a certain different movement patterns that you can get into and do well. That you feel a little more calm and composed on the court. So are you individual, or do you also do group sessions as well? I do individuals, groups, some holiday programs. I have a lot in the term programs for 8 weeks.
And I know I see you down at Melville doing some stuff before we do our holiday hoops camp.
I was. Now that I've moved at Mandurah, more focused. More focused, kind of Mandurah, Rockingham, Bibra Lake area.
Nice.
And then a little bit on Sundays at Guildford's.
Awesome.
Yeah, but previously I was at Melville a lot. Really.
You are trekking everywhere.
Yeah, it's definitely the role is a lot of commuting.
Yeah,
sure.
You ever thought about reaching out, trying to get a sponsor or something like that for a car or things like that?
I was thinking out sponsor for
doing so much.
Yeah, more for like 3-on-3. That there was like a few opportunities to go to Taipei and in Taiwan.
Damn, okay.
But it was like needing to find a sponsor for that.
Yeah.
Besides that, I hadn't really thought too much like sponsoring in terms of the coaching. Just enjoying the work and the build. That I wasn't too focused on that. Maybe in the future.
So how long have you been doing this individual and I guess group sessions? Like how long has this gone and where do you want to see this progress? Like there's different people out there that do different types of things, but like I said, I'm always the person, especially coming from a basketball background, I look at, I guess, pedigree, then I look at how you work with the kids, what drills you're doing, and I guess I like to see progression. That's the one thing I always like to see, right? There's no point starting out like an 11-year-old that can't do the basics going, okay, I want to go through the legs, crossover, around the back, into a spin move, and pull up jump shot.
Yeah, like kind of starting where they are at in their journey. And I think the progression is what makes it worth it. Seeing it over time, like just even the kids grow or like that they're moving cleaner on the court.
Yeah. Okay. How can people find you? Tell people how they can find you.
Mainly through social media on Instagram. I'm very active. I have a TikTok. I'm on YouTube. Email, phone.
Tell us about them. What is it?
Everything on my Instagram.
Yeah, like what's your Instagram? What's your @
So my Instagram is just my name, Julian.Pesava. And then I'll post a lot of like small tips or things, about coaching on there. That people would contact me mainly through Instagram.
Through Insta? Okay.
I'm mainly active on Instagram.
Yeah, so tell us a bit about like I guess like the range of costs. Like if people were to sign up for it, what are they looking to do per hour or whatever like that? You don't need to talk about it unless you want people to contact you.
Yeah, of course. I have everything on the Instagram. I have like a flyer with pricing and details. So I do like $80 for one-on-one, and then it progressively gets cheaper. Like for duos, it'd be 50 each, and then 40 for trios, 30 for groups, and there's like a lot of different options. One-on-ones, like a few like individual sessions like that, and then 8-week programs, sort of more on working on finishing footwork on across
so like pull up threes in front of Marshall Nelson.
All of that. If you want that,
dude, that is like your clip now that you use on all your social media videos. It's just that, and then cut to you talking trash to him. Like that's it.
It was definitely a moment I'll cherish for sure.
But look, guys, if there is anyone out there that is interested to get your kid involved, I know more adults will probably be listening to this, but to get your kid involved, please head over to Jules' Instagram. Obviously, that's where he prefers to do his business. But head over there, check that out. But as usual, man, like thank you so much for tuning in for the show. We'll wrap it up here, Jules. But thank you so much for coming in, dude. Like it's been awesome catching up with you, reminiscing about some funny times, and hearing this journey, man. Like it's been amazing to watch, but it's been even more amazing to see you actually enjoy the process as well. So thank you for coming in, man.
No, I appreciate it. It's good to catch up, and thanks for having me on.
No, not a problem, man. But look, as always, thank you to our man behind the camera, Eric Paul Goldie, absolute legend. If you need anything, video, photography, please check him out as well. But as always, like, share, subscribe. If you want to work with us to promote your business, run a golf day, or just kind of hang out and create some amazing content for some fun, be sure to reach out to us at topdeckgolf@gmail.com. See, we're old school like that. But you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify to make sure you check this out. And that's our episode 1 for season 2. Thank you very much. Take care. Peace.
Thank you.
You're having a giggle.
Well, that's one way to do it, isn't it?